What's going on, folks? It's D. White, founder of JustBlackThoughts.com, and I'm just one black male educator giving you my thoughts. Today, I want to talk to you about the simple joys. I want to start this new series called The Simple Joys of Being a Teacher. Context, I know we live in a world where there's a lot of stuff going on, and by no means can we run from it, can we escape it. Of course, we keep our eyes open, our hearts open, and our prayers go out to everyone around the world. In this series, I also want to just provide some balance, right? Because it's really easy to doom scroll and think the world is ending. And unfortunately, there's a lot of terrible events that are ongoing, not just what you see in the news. Think about all the things we don't hear. Without further ado, I wanted to do this series in order to get our bodies, minds, eyes to recognize joy and to embody joy. I just want to talk about the simple things that make my job wonderful, that make my job enjoyable, that make my job exciting, that make my job an opportunity for me to be a full person, not just a better full professional and practitioner, but a better full person. That's something I always come back to. It's just black joy, or joy in the classroom, joy in my job. And I'm privileged enough to have that experience. I'm privileged enough to have that outlook on my job. Specifically this week, I want to tell you about one joy I had this week. I got the opportunity to see my cross country and my tennis teams play. I try to make it my goal to see 3 different extracurricular events per season, that being the fall, winter, spring. So that's my goal as a teacher. Now, I'm not saying anyone else has to do that. That just helps me get a sense of a student in and outside of the classroom. I love seeing my kids perform in their extracurriculars. It's just great to see them in their zone and to see them in a space where they feel really confident, they feel really supported, and they feel recognized. Because sometimes the classroom may not be that space for them. Now, I know I try to work to make my classroom a space where a kid can feel comfortable. No matter what their skill level is, I want them to feel like they are competent. I want them to feel confident. And I want them to feel like they're improving on their own mark and according to their own standards. Context. I used to be a cross-country runner way back in the day. 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, maybe even 10th grade. I was nobody's runner. I was skinny. I had no muscle around my body. I actually had surgery my junior year because of all the stress and pressure on my knees. I had no shock absorbers, that being no quad muscles, no hamstrings, and I'm still a skinny guy to this day. So it felt like a really wholesome moment to go to cross country and to see all my students running, and they were just so shocked to see me on the sideline cheering. You know, they're running and their eyes just light up like, oh my God, Mr. White is here. And no, this is not a shout out to myself, nothing egotistical, but I felt like I could see myself in my students. Right? I'm so grateful to have a job where I can have this invitation to see myself and to see my younger self, and also to kind of feel like I can have this conversation internally with my younger selves when I see my students. It's just a beautiful thing to see young people cheering on young people, no matter what their team, right? I love that camaraderie that was at that meet. Also, a highlight this week, I got to see tennis. Now, your boy don't know how to play tennis. I love me some Venus and Serena, you know, from back in the day, and just off the strength of what they did for the sport and just dominant at their sport. So, of course, as a kid, I knew who they were. However, I've never played tennis in my life. I think I played pickleball once or twice. That's besides the point. Seeing my students, my JV tennis team, being on the bleachers around the parents and just watching them. Now, what's the big so what here? Is this me trying to tell you to go visit every one of your students' extracurriculars? No. Is this me telling you that you're a bad teacher or a bad parent? No. I'm just saying thank you and showing gratitude that A, my young people invite me to their extracurriculars. B, to see parents there just warms my heart, because I had parents who went to my games, but I also had parents who worked a lot, and just respecting that, making that time and also making that sacrifice both ways, whether you got a parent who's working hard and working a lot and the parent who has the time to show up. That's no devaluing of either position. I respect both of them. So yeah, I just want to tell you about the simple joys of being a black male educator. It's a lovely profession. It's hard. It is not for the faint heart, but I think there are these small little moments and small moments of joy where I can see myself, I can reflect. I forgot to even tell you, I even contacted my own cross-country coach. I left him a Facebook message just saying thank you for making me a better man overall. Went to an all-boys school, and Coach Gillentine used to tell me, never stop running, get to the finish line. And he just kind of helped me develop that mental toughness and that mental fitness, because running is hard, right? It's physically hard, but it's also a mental exercise as you're running, especially cross country. Ultimately, I'm a sprinter. I did the 1 and the 2 and the 4, but during the fall seasons, before track season, which was in the spring, I did cross country to stay in shape. And I never placed. It wasn't about placing, which is always about, finishing strong and pushing yourself. And that's one of the things I gave a shout out to my colleagues who are also coaches. I said, thank you for making these young people have strong character, strong mental toughness, because the fact that they finished their race and seconds after finishing their race, they would turn and cheer for the next person coming behind them, right? I saw students try to help each other up if someone fell. I saw students pushing each other on the race itself and saying, like, stay with the pack. It was just a vibe. I hope that if you get a chance to, whether you're a teacher, parent, whoever, go see your kid in action. Please go see your kid in action just to get a full picture of who they are, right? Because some of our young people may not be, quote unquote, successful in a traditional way, but they are talented, they are creative, they are self-expressive in other ways. And so let's celebrate that, let's champion that, as well as seeing them grind it out in the classroom too. All right, I'm D. White, founder of justblackthoughts.com. Check out my website, justblackthoughts.com, just to see my written pieces. Also, follow me at The Other English Teacher. I have merch on justblackthoughts.com. This is all in effort to recruit, retain, and to celebrate Black men in education and teachers in general. That's the point of this channel. The point of this channel is just to let you know that there's always this blame game in education, but there are people doing good work, whether that be parents, teachers, principals, administrators, community members, nonprofits. I'm just giving you my perspective as a Black male teacher. So I hope you go out and celebrate a teacher. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, and leave a shout out to a teacher in the comments if there's someone who really supported you when you were in school back in the day. Peace. Hey, it's D. White, founder of justblackthoughts.com. If you haven't done so, hit subscribe on YouTube. Follow me at The Other English Teacher on Instagram and YouTube. Peace.